It's time to stop the lies that kill animal habitat and the beauty of Earth. Global warming is documented by undeniable records that show the effects of CO2. Let's look at the sources of those undeniable records. It's time to get serious about global warming.
Did you know that the highest authorities on climate change disagree with activists that claim that CO2 causes global warming?
And just who are those highest authorities in climate science? Well, these are the top scientists and theorists in climate science. But they would be first to tell you that the highest authority is not them. They would humbly admit that official climate records are the highest authority. Before doing cause-effect analysis for climate, a thorough investigation has to be conducted to find highest authorities that are reliable. Were the official records verified and validated? Did forensic analysis show that the records reflect what is actually happening to nature? This must be done to avoid crap in, crap out.
Trusted institutions that produce global surface temperatures are NASA, Hadley Met Center, Japan, China, and Berkeley Earth. NOAA National Centers for Environmental Information also has a global surface temperature record, but their record is no longer trusted. Forensic tests showed version 6 was wiggle fit to CO2 using NeuroNet AI and is no longer verified by the other 5 records. Trusted institutions that produce global temperature records using satellites are retired NASA scientists Spencer and the NOAA Center for Satellite Applications and Research. RSS also has a record, but is no longer verified by the other 2. There is one trusted institution that produces global CO2 records, NOAA Global Monitoring Laboratory. Their work is highly accurate and verified using carefully selected sites with well-mixed marine air. The World Data Center for Greenhouse Gases also produces a global CO2 record, but includes sites downwind of CO2 sources with varied production schedules. NOAA also has long-term records ideal for cause-effect analysis for regional CO2 records from their world-class observatories at the South Pole, American Samoa, Hawaii, and Alaska. Those sites have historic hourly records for comparison of water vapor and methane effects on temperature relative to CO2. There are other regional sites, but their history doesn't go back in time far enough or are sited in places affected by car exhaust.
The Hawaii site at Mauna Loa Observatory is arguably the premier climate observatory. Located above inversion layers, its famous Keeling curve of CO2 dates back to 1958, setting the standard for quality measurements. Even hourly records date back to 1974. This allows scientists to see the effects of CO2 when it was so low that it was only 165 parts per million from causing total extinction of all life on land. Its elevation and location in the middle of the ocean was the perfect way to begin a global CO2 record.
NOAA also has local temperature and precipitation records that can be rolled up to a regional level. This includes more than 10,000 weather stations from around the world. While the NOAA Centers for Environmental Information has a history of biasing temperatures, it was easy for forensic tests to identify and avoid those records.
In order to test the sun/sea theory on the cause of climate change, official records from several ocean and solar institutions were also tested. The sources that passed forensic tests were Naval Research Laboratory for Solar Variation Records, the prestigious Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution for Sea Air Heat Transfer Records, and a collaboration between the Met Office, National Oceanography Center Southampton, and Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory of Columbia University for sea surface temperatures. The great news is that there are multiple sources of official global temperature records and global CO2 that passed verification and forensic validation. This allows the cause-effect process to be repeated using all combinations of official records to test the robustness of conclusions. Does the net effect of CO2 cause climate change?
No worries, all combinations had the same result. Result robustness was strong.
The next steps in cause-effect analysis are now possible. Step 2 is to document and validate the method of test. Step 3 is to perform and report test results.
You deserve the truth. I hope you found that very interesting.
If you want to help get the truth out, please give a thumbs up. If you want to watch more, please subscribe and give feedback as to what else you need to know.